What's up, guys? Jared here, getting back with you again. After quite some time, I'm still enjoying the new job, and well, I figured it would be a good time to catch up with you and let you know how things are going with me. For those of you that continue to click on videos that I post, thank you for your interest. I like communication. I like it when people leave comments. So if there's anything you want to say or you have any questions for me, let me know. I haven't fallen off the edge of the earth. Well, not literally. I have in some ways, but yeah, that's a different story. But yes, I do want to catch up, and I do want to say I'm excited about the turning of the season coming up, and I'm kind of doing a little bit of reminiscing today, which made me want to push the record button, and I'm kind of thinking about where I was a year ago as opposed to where I'm at right now. Now, a year ago, I was like frantically trying to get out of that flatbed job, and that's whenever I actually posted the video. It's called So I Got Hired, and I was really excited to share with you guys that I was going to get a job driving for JB Hunt, hauling their intermodal containers. I got that job. I bought into a lot of bullshit, and it wasn't a horrible job, but there were things about it that I just wasn't okay with. I didn't like that much. Wasn't happy about several things, actually. One of them was the AI camera, which this job's no exception. I still have one of those cameras aimed at me. But it's never an issue. It's just annoying to be on camera all the time and feeling like you don't have any privacy and there's something watching you because of an antitrust kind of situation, and the fact that, you know, insurance companies use this technology. For me, it feels like intrusion, and for me, it feels like they're trying to play God. But yeah, I won't talk about that anymore, just except to say that, you know, things are going really good with the job, and they really like me. And the funny thing is, they say that I'm really picky, and I was like, no, I don't want to be known as the picky guy. And they were like, no, that's a good thing, because that means you're doing your job. And that's really, I mean, my job is to go into a house and do a full inspection on it and come up with anything that I think is going to keep someone from wanting to rent the house. It's my job to do that. And that covers over several different criteria. You're talking anything from HVAC to plumbing to roof issues to freaking like the appliances, lighting, functionality. Is there a fence in the backyard? Does it have a gate? Does the gate function properly? Are there any issues with railing? Does it have a front porch? How are the rails looking on the front porch? How are the stairwell rails holding up? Are they solid? Is the banister solid? All that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting job. And I, for one, like, I'm really sensitive to fine details. And so I've reported things that were overlooked by renovation crews, construction crews, and called them out on it. And they don't like it when I do that, but it's my job to do that. So they call me Mr. Picky. But like I said before, the company, it's segmented into different branches. There's a renovation branch. That's the crew that goes in and deals with the houses after a tenant moves out and gets it ready to go back onto the market for leasing. Okay. There's also a construction crew, which I don't deal with as much. The construction crew is like the initial crew that goes in after the company purchases a house. The construction crew goes in and assesses and decides what their scope is going to look like and what they will or will not invest into a property from the get-go. So I don't deal with them as much. Every now and then we'll get a brand new house that we just got in the company's possession, and I'll have to do an inspection based on a construction crew's terms. But another thing about the job is that it's in some ways it's like a glorified cleaning job on top of all the inspections and, you know, changing out light bulbs, changing out tons and tons of batteries. Our houses, they have motion detectors, they have smart locks, they have remote operated thermostats. They got all this stuff like technology. They're all smart homes. A lot of that stuff takes batteries, so I'm the one that goes in and changes out all the batteries. Also, even though the company pays cleaning crews to go in and clean houses out after evictions or after move-outs or whatever else have you, sometimes those cleaning crews don't do a very good job. And when they don't, it's my job to catch it and call them out on it so that they have to go back and clean it. But if the time period runs out and we don't catch that a house isn't clean good enough, then it falls on the field operations specialist to clean the house. So I am also cleaning a lot of toilets, a lot of showers, a lot of like sinks, kitchen sinks and bathroom sinks, and doing a lot of sweeping and all that stuff. I have like a credit card that I can go, like if I need to go to Home Depot and buy supplies, I can get that. I also have like a full stock inventory in the back of my van where I have an app where I scan everything in my inventory. It's like my own little personal warehouse back there. I mean, I got batteries, I got light bulbs, I got cleaning supplies, I got this, I got that. So, you know, it's up to me. Like, I have to keep track. Every time I use something out of my inventory, I have to scan it and do my own like cycle counts and stuff so that they'll know whenever I'm running low on something, they'll mail me stuff to my house, and they give me like a certain amount of time bi-weekly to do an inventory, like a cycle count. So that's how I keep up with that. It's pretty cool, guys. It's a very interesting job. For what it is, I think it pays pretty well. It doesn't pay as well as truck driving, obviously, but you're not being held liable for nearly as much shit as you are when you're a truck driver. You don't have to put up with as much shit as you do when you're a truck driver. And for me, I like being on my feet. I like moving around. I like working in the field. I've always felt like that. Again, this type of job, it was a choice. It would have been a first choice to get a job like this before I decided to be a truck driver. I feel like that from the get-go. Now, I got my CDL when I was like 31 years old, I think. Yeah, I was 31 when I got my CDL. And that was only after having a job as a bank contractor, which is a little bit different than this job. Because instead of working for a big corporate company that owns rental homes, I was actually working as a subcontractor for banks on their properties that, you know, like if somebody was evicted from a house, it would go back into the bank's name. The bank would have to, you know, deal with it, getting it ready to be put back on the market. Same concept, except instead of a big rental company owning the property, the bank would own the property. And instead of the bank having its own employees to go in and do property preservation, it would pay subcontractors like me. So I actually work for a smaller company as a subcontractor. The guy I work for, he was the actual contractor that had, the license. He was licensed, bonded, insured to do all this construction work for the bank. And it ended up being a lot of just property preservation stuff. A lot of times these bank-owned properties would sit there for months and months and months, if not years, before they would go back on the market, because the bank would have to invest this into the property or that into the property, and sometimes it would take a long time for them to manage and deal with it. So our biggest job was to just try to preserve the properties. We would go in and do winterizations. We would do whatever we needed to do to try to, catch and prevent roof leaks. And there was a lot of break-ins and theft and stuff like that. There's a lot of crackheads out there that go around looking for abandoned houses so they can go in and steal the copper condenser lines off the air conditioner and the Romex. Man, I've seen them tear houses up, pulling copper wiring out of the walls, pulling copper pipes out of floors and ceilings and basements and you name it. They'll rip shit out of these houses. Well, as a bank contractor, I would have to go in and I'd have to put thick sheets of plywood up over the windows and use thick carriage bolts to board the windows up and the doors and basically make it impenetrable for a crackhead to get into, unless they wanted to drive their pickup truck through the front of the house or something. Which, ironically enough, there was one house I went to one time. It was in DeKalb County, and it was a nice house. It was off of Panola Road in DeKalb County, and in a nice neighborhood, nice house. It was a big house, probably 5 bedrooms, and there was a big freaking hole in the side of the house. How it got there, I have no idea, but sure enough. And so we had to take pictures of me and my partner. I had my own pickup truck back then, and we would drive around, we'd do all the work, and we were like our own little sub crew working for this one guy that owned his own company. And so, that was cool. That was back in 2013, 2014 when I had that job. Well, I got laid off from it, and then that was ultimately what made me make the decision to become a truck driver, because I thought that it was something that I would really enjoy and really want to do. And I did enjoy doing it for a little while, but it's just not my thing. It's not for me. I hate driving, honestly. And that's another thing about this job, is I drive a lot. I drive so much with this job. But it's just one of those things that, it's honestly better, and I think I actually do prefer to work in the field. And if you're going to work in the field, that means you're going to be driving around a lot. It's not necessarily the driving that bothers me, it's the places that I have to go to that suck ass. I don't like going to the west side of Atlanta. It's not that I don't like the west side of Atlanta, or I like it any less than the east side. It's that trek that you have to make across the entire metro Atlanta area to get to the other side every day, and then you have to come back at the end of your shift. And that shit sucks. It could take sometimes almost 3 hours, depending on how bad traffic is. But at least I'm in a passenger vehicle now, and I can take, back roads. I can do this, I can do that to try to shorten that span of time that I'm spending behind the wheel. A lot of times I'll try to find shortcuts, or if If I need to go through downtown Atlanta because it's faster than taking 285, I can do that now. Whereas, when you're in a truck, you can't do that, or you'll get in trouble if they catch you doing it. So I wanted to catch up with you guys and just talk about the job a little bit. Again, I'm really excited about fall. I'm diligently working on my book that I was talking about in the previous video. I started working on it in June, and it's going to take a long time. Like I said before, I'm not trying to rush it. It's going to take a long time to write the book. I've got about 10 chapters at this point, but I'm still at the beginning of the book. I have a rough outline of the entire story. Basically, it's a fictional novel, but it's got a lot of like symbolism, imagery, metaphor, meta-narrative stuff in it that I just feel led to write about. It might come as a surprise to you what the actual like surface story is about. If the book ever gets published. But I won't try to describe it or explain it, but I just say that I'm diligently working on it. I feel really passionate about it, and I feel really good about it. I'm excited, and there's a lot of, for me, it almost feels like a spiritual journey writing this book. There's so much that I'm pouring into it out of my soul. At the same time, I'm still participating and exercising meditation, trying to do that on a daily basis. I've made some pretty big breakthroughs in the past few weeks with the meditation. I haven't posted any videos on this channel because I've just been completely just jam-packed. Like, my schedule, it's jam-packed. My son, he's started his soccer season, so I'm actually able to take him to practice and stuff in the evenings, and also going to the gym. I think I mentioned that in my previous video. I joined a gym. I try to work out as much as I can. You guys already know I gave up nicotine over the summer, and I know that because of some of the videos that I posted, and because of some of the crazy, like, shot out shit that I've said, a lot of people probably think that I'm like using THC or some shit like that, and I'm actually not, and I haven't. I know a lot of people suspected me of using legal THC even after the fact, even after I failed that drug test. But I haven't. I swear, I have not touched THC since that summer, two years ago. That July, that August, that's the last time I've done it. Now, I've thrown it around casually, and I think that's why some people think I actually have started using it. And I'll be honest with you, even after walking away from truck driving, I haven't picked it up. I don't plan on it. I was serious when I said I don't plan on doing it again. And here's the reason why. You want to know why? It's not because I feel like there's something wrong with it. It's not because it bothers me. It's not because I feel self-righteous in comparison to other people that smoke pot or anything. It has nothing to do with any of that. If you want to smoke weed, smoke weed. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to do it, though, and here's why. It's because I've discovered that with meditation, you get the same effect, except you don't feel emptiness after the fact. You don't feel disconnected after the fact. You don't feel like you're fiending to get high again after you meditate. It's very fulfilling. You get in touch with that other side of your self, your subconsciousness, You have full access to it. You feel connected to the quantum field, like everything that's connected in the sense of energy. Like if all matter is energy condensed and slowed down to a slow vibration, then everything's connected. And you kind of feel like that when you smoke weed. But what I'm saying is, when you meditate, you get all of that, but you don't lose it. You're connected to it. It's like you get in touch with your subconscious mind, and then when you're actually awake, you still feel all that underneath you. It's like carrying you through the day. And not only that, there's no chemical imbalance in your brain like I'm sure there would be when you smoke pot on a consistent, regular basis. That's going to throw the chemical makeup and structure of your brain off in an unnatural way, actually. How do I know that? Because I used to be a pothead when I was much, much younger. And like I said, I just gave up kratom this year, and I was hooked on it for almost a decade. And I know what it's like. Even though it's a natural plant, it's still, it screws you up. It's not natural. It's much better whenever you're not using a substance to reach those unconscious parts of yourself. And there's something about our brains, and that, like, honestly, after reading those Joe Dispenza books about all this stuff, I've experienced, and I can actually vouch for some of his claims in his books, because what he's basically said about meditation is, when you have access to those deeper parts of your mind and your brain is actually its own pharmacy, its own I keep misquoting this word every time I think about it. I want to say hip, but it's not. Your brain is basically its own apothecary. I think that's the word I'm trying to think of. Apothecary. Your brain is capable of coming up with its own chemical mixtures of things. Now, if in his book called Becoming Supernatural, he claims that through meditation, the pineal gland in your brain is actually capable of producing DMT. And I think I've said something about this before, but... And I was like, when I read that, I was like, I don't know if I buy that or not. Because DMT, if you guys aren't familiar with that, it's like one of the purest hallucinogenic substances on this planet. It grows in plants like ayahuasca. It's like psilocybin in mushrooms, but it's actually stronger. It's actually stronger. And he's claiming that through meditation you can actually get your pineal gland to release DMT. But what he says about it is, he's like, the cool thing about it is that it's not actually the same as like taking straight up DMT as a substance. Because whenever your brain produces it, your brain's also producing all these other natural chemicals like melatonin or serotonin, which our brains actually depend on to function. Without the melatonin, our circadian rhythm just wouldn't work. And without the serotonin, we would all be wrist slashers or ledge jumpers. You know what I'm saying? Serotonin, it's like what makes you happy. It's like whenever you're basking in the sunlight and you feel alive and you feel energy emanating from your core and you're just happy. Serotonin, you know? Well, what do drugs do? Drugs actually throw those balances off and deplete those balances. Imagine a meth head. You think a meth head's brain is actually producing melatonin? Probably not. And that's why they don't get any sleep, right? Or what about somebody that's addicted or done ecstasy or something. I've always heard that like that drug ecstasy, it can give you like serotonin syndrome, and it can damage your brain to where your brain can't produce serotonin anymore. And actually, people that are like manically depressed, they have serotonin depletions in their brain, and that's what antidepressants do. They like prevent your brain from uptaking serotonin, so it'll last longer in your brain or some shit like that. I don't know the actual mechanical process of antidepressants, but I know, like, I've had to take them before, so I know that's what they do. My point is, I'm rambling a lot. My point is, just recently I was meditating and I had an experience where I actually got visuals. I can't say it's the first time I've ever gotten visuals, but this time it was like really, really, really profound. It was extremely profound. I would have to say it was like the second most powerful experience I've had meditating. And the first most powerful experience I've had meditating, I was actually in that truck, and I made a video right after all that happened, and it's on the channel if you want to check it out and you haven't seen it. It's called meditation vlog, trucker meditation vlog, or some shit like that. But anyway, I was sitting in my office, and it was early in the morning. It was like just after 5 a.m. because that's usually what time I get up in the morning, because I'll like meditate for an hour right after I wake up. And it took about an hour for it to actually kick in, but eventually I got to this place, and I know that I was like in theta brainwaves. Everything slowed down, but maybe a little bit deeper than that, because I actually started to get visuals, and it's like I was able to see without my eyes. I was able to see the present moment that I was sitting in, and it was somehow I got this like spiritual connection with the present time. Like, it's September right now. There's something really profound about September. We're going into the equinox, and so there's something really powerful about it, and it stands out in my memory. Like, every year I feel this month and how profound it feels. That's why I started this video out with talking about reminiscing about where I was last September, what was going on, and basically, getting out of that horrible job that I was in, and then taking that other job at JB Hunt. Well, I feel like I'm even though I'm not making as much money this year, I feel much, much happier with the job that I have. Much happier. Much more satisfied. And right now, I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I literally feel euphoria. I feel dopamine. I feel high. I feel like I'm high. I'm high on life. I feel so, what's the word? Fulfilled with time. So satisfied with what I'm experiencing every day. Yes, I still have troubled moments, and sometimes I do feel like I want to freaking rip my hair out, and I do get frustrated and stressed out. Even this job, sometimes there's some things about this job that stress me out. But I would say overall, I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good, and that's really all I wanted to do. I'm at Home Depot. I got to go in there and buy a drill. So I got to let you guys go. I was on my lunch break. I actually got to clock back in. But yeah, I just wanted to catch up with you and get back with you and just talk for a little while, because I don't make too many of these videos, and I don't plan on making a whole lot of them. Just know that I'm working on a book right now, and I'm really excited. I'm happy. I'm also kicking my own ass at the gym every day. I mean, I'm working out. I'm getting that freaking muscle going, getting it going, building it up, and taking good care of myself, staying healthy. I'm not just exercising physically, I'm exercising my mind, my consciousness. I'm trying to reach really, really deep and just pull the best stuff out of life that I can possibly pull out of life. I'm high on life right now, and I'm loving it. I'm satisfied. I'm in that place where, I don't know if anybody can relate, but when you actually realize that this is eternal life right here, it's happening right now. This is the kingdom of heaven. It is. You have access to it. You have an invitation. It's up to you to answer the call, but we're already there. We're already in the eternal right now. It's already happened. If you don't believe me, then try meditating and find out for yourself. See it, feel it, breathe it in. Breathe it in. Don't buy into the bullshit that this world subjects you to. I'm not going to preach. But yes, thank you for watching. And I will see you guys again. I'm hoping that, the next time I get back with you, the weather will be even better than it is right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys around. Take care. Later.